Hi everyone, Caroline here. Many people are in tough life situations or are facing some hard life challenges which seem not to be changing, or if those situations are changing, they seem to be taking a long time or requiring a lot of sweat and a lot of effort just to feel a little relief. And it seems like whatever it is that they're doing with crystals, whatever work they're doing with their crystals seems not to be working. So they're caught up in these tough situations, and these tough situations seem to be going on and on. The tough personal relationships they're experiencing are going on and on. The hard situations they're experiencing at work are going on and on. The money or financial situation is becoming tougher or harder. The health situation is stagnant or even becoming worse. I don't mean for it to sound like this, but there's a point to all this. Think about it for a minute. If your situation is getting harder and tougher, what is going on? If you are working with quartz crystals to change this situation around, to make the situation better, what is going on? Why is the situation remaining unchanged? There are obviously many things that go on in our lives that causes tough life situations. But for purposes of this video today, I just want to focus on those who love and wear and use quartz-based crystals like clear quartz crystals, like rose quartz, amethyst, smoky quartz, citrine, tourmalinated quartz, and all that good stuff, because I know most people have quartz-based crystals of one kind or the other. And so this information will be useful for them. And this information is also going to be useful for those who love to wear hard crystals like diamonds or Herkimer diamonds or topaz, or even those who have lots of quartz crystals in their home or space. This information is going to be good for you to know, especially if you're experiencing hard or tough or rigid life situations. So just pay attention. It's going to be good. Anyway, if you are currently facing a hard situation or a tough situation, and that situation has not been changing for a long time for whatever reason, or if you have a rigid mindset and you want to change these things, or perhaps you are even one of those people who can't easily open their hearts, or who can't easily accept change, or who can't easily go with the flow, or just accept new ways of being. If you know the type of situation I'm talking about and you're caught up in that situation, I want you to pause for a minute and just check, look around and see how many quartz crystals are you wearing? How many quartz crystals do you have in your environment? How many rose quartz? How many clear quartz? How many amethysts do you have in your environment? Just check, because quartz crystals are hard crystals, and hard crystals produce long-lasting effects. They produce a permanence. So if you're going through a tough situation, or if you're going through a hard situation and you're working with quartz crystals have the potential to further harden that situation. They can toughen that situation. They can solidify that situation. They can amplify that effect of hardness in that situation. I want you to think about it from that perspective. So if your situation has not been changing, how many quartz crystals have you been using? I find this to be very interesting because the attributes of a crystals are usually very, very important. At least for me, from my perspective, when I'm working with a crystal, I really think about the attributes of a crystal in how I apply some of these things in my life. And when a crystal is hard, metaphysically and energetically, there's always that underlying implication that it's going to sort of harden a situation, even though other things can be happening. So it's also very important to know why and how you're working with different crystals. So anyway, if a crystal is hard, I usually think about it, okay, this is a hard crystal, the situation is not changing and it's becoming tougher and harder. So maybe I need to stop working with this hard crystal. And in cases like that, then you have to think about if you're working with a soft crystal, which is something that I'm going to be recommending that you do in case your situation is tough. Working with soft crystals is a very good option for that. But if you're working with a soft crystal, then it can kind of soften that hard situation that you're facing. It can loosen that situation and loosen that rigidity that you're experiencing, and then make things move a little bit smoother. So I want you to think about these things from an energetic perspective and also a metaphysical perspective. It's so much fun working with these crystals when we understand certain things, because at the end of the day, why should we really be having these spiritual tools and trying to work with them and then we are not seeing any kind of results, right? So keep that in mind. If you're experiencing a situation in which things are tough, consider working with soft crystals. And soft crystals are ones like calcites, fluorites, tourmalines, gypsums, which all have a hardness between 4 to 1 on the Mohs scale. And the fantastic thing about these soft crystals is that they come in multiple colors, so you can always pick and select the one that resonates or responds to the energy of what you want to work with. So for example, if you've been using a quartz crystal like Citrine, which has a yellow energy, you can get a soft crystal like yellow calcite to replace that energy and work with it temporarily until the situation you're experiencing loosens. Because what you want to do is to get rid of that hardness, to get rid of that rigidity, so that things can keep flowing in your life just the way you want it. And by the way, for those who may not know, the Mohs scale is a system which describes or determines the hardness of a crystal or a mineral. And it usually goes from 1 to 10. And quartz crystals is on 7. So the hardest crystal is like the diamond, which is a 10, and the softest crystal, according to the Mohs scale, is talc, which is a 1. So that's that. Some of us really love our quartz crystals, and they really are beautiful. And of course, they do serve their purpose, and they are excellent crystals. But for now, just keep in mind that the use of hard crystals can lead to unwanted long-term effects. And the long-term use of these hard crystals, or the longer you use these hard crystals, the more that hard or tough situation that you're currently experiencing or that you're using those quartz crystals for can toughen or become harder. So if it's money or wealth creation that you want and you're using quartz crystals to support that, then that situation can become tougher. If it's good health that you want on any level, mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual, and you're using quartz crystals and things are not changing, it's becoming tougher, then check and consider how much quartz you are using for that situation. If it's loving relationships that you want and the situation is not changing, check and see how much rose quartz or how much quartz you are using to support that particular situation. And if it's not changing, it's always good to switch those quartz crystals or those hard crystals that you're using and replace them with soft crystals as you continue to work through your process with the intention of loosening the situation. And after the situation has changed, then at that point, maybe you can get back to using your hard crystals or your quartz crystals. Oh, something to think about. For those who have problems with arthritis or people who have problems with their bones, which are usually as a result of hardness or rigidity in the human structure, maybe something to think about is, how many hard crystals are you working with to support your process? Remember, hard sometimes causes even more hard. So just think about it. When you think about things in this way, sometimes you can get relief for ourselves. Anywho, let me know in the comment section if you have been using quartz crystals to change any tough or hard life situation you have been facing, and if those situations have changed or not, and what particular quartz crystal you have been using for those particular purposes. And crystal lovers, I offer private one-on-one consultations about how to use your spiritual tools. So if you need any assistance in that regard, send me an email at caroline@crystalstock.com. And in the meantime, let's soften situations so we can feel good in every way and have good experiences in our lives. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.